Good morning. This is Shindo, continuing in the conversation about Turkey because it is actually in the news now. This is from Al Jazeera. Title of this article is Turkey and Syrian Kurdish forces, quote, should stop fighting. They have come out and boldly told the White House, has come out and boldly told Turkey to stop fighting the Kurds. And if they don't stop fighting the Kurds, they're going to boldly come out tomorrow and tell them to stop fighting the Kurds. Pentagon calls for end to clashes between Turkish military and a U.S.-backed Kurdish-led alliance in northern Syria. So, Turkey's fighting the forces that the United States are backing. Just a couple weeks after they went to Russia. Wonder. Very interesting. It's almost as though Turkey doesn't really want to be part of NATO. It's almost as though Turkey shows no respect for this administration and just does whatever the hell they want to, just like the rest of the world does. The U.S. Defense Secretary has called on Turkey and Kurdish forces in northern Syria to stay focused on fighting the Islamic State of Iraq and Levant ISIL group, and not to target each other. Monday's statement by Ash Carter came after Turkish forces launched a two-pronged operation last week against ISIL, also known as ISIS, and Kurdish forces from the People's Protection units inside Syria. Turkey said it killed 25 Kurdish, quote, terrorists in strikes in YPG positions on Sunday, meaning that the two U.S.-backed partner forces were fighting each other. Quote, we have called upon Turkey to stay focused in the fight against ISIL and not to engage Syrian defense forces, and we have had a number of contacts over the last several days, Carter said. Quote, we have called on both sides to not fight with one another, to continue to focus the fight on ISIL, that the basis of our cooperation with both of them, specifically not to engage, unquote. The SDF is a group of fighters formed to fight against ISIL and led by the YPG. Turkish determination. Turkey said on Monday it would continue to target the YPG if it failed to retreat east of the Euphrates River. Carter said the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Joseph Dunford, had spoken to his Turkish counterpart on Sunday over the issue. The U.S.-led coalition has been backing the YPG with training and equipment to fighting ISIL, while at the same time the U.S. has also supported Syrian opposition groups fighting with the Turks in northern Syria. Turkey regards the YPG as an extension of an outlawed Kurdistan Worker Party, which has been battling the Turkish military for more than 40 years. Peter Cook, Pentagon press secretary, also condemned the clashes in northern Syria. Quote, we want to make clear that we find these clashes unacceptable and they are a source of deep concern, unquote, Cook says on Monday, seconding Carter's call. Quote, this is already a crowded battle space. Accordingly, we are calling on all armed actors to stand down immediately and to take appropriate measures to de-conflict. In his remarks, Carter said, quote, the YPG elements of the SDF will withdraw and is withdrawing east of the Euphrates. Quote, that will naturally separate them from Turkish forces that are heading down the Jarabas area, unquote. Turkish forces backed by allied Syrian rebels seized the town of Jarablas from ISIL last week, but also clashed with local fighters affiliated with the SDF. In an interview published on Monday on the Turkish daily Hariyet Halusu Akar, Turkish chief of staff, was quoted in saying that Kurdish forces around Jabluas had been attacking Turkish soldiers there. Quote, "They have to withdraw to the east of Jarabas, otherwise we'll have to do what is necessary," unquote, he told Hariyet. On Monday, Turkish-backed Syrian rebels said that they were advancing towards Manbij in northern Syria, a city captured earlier this month by Kurdish forces. Now, folks, I have some questions for you. United States of America's military is, by anyone's standards, at the very least, 10 times as powerful as any other military in the world. We got the hardware anyway. So why are we having such a problem with, I'm just going to throw a number out there. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Why is it that we have such a problem with, 100,000, maybe, ISIS forces? Why do we have such a problem just wiping them off the face of the earth? There's got to be something else going on here. Like, I don't know, maybe ISIS is something that the United States of America wants to continue to have around so that they can justify military spending, for one. Do you know how much money this country spends on quote-unquote defense? It used to be called the Department of War. You know, that's a lot more truthful. The Department of Defense, it is the most expensive on the federal budget. It just doesn't seem to me that we should have any trouble at least weakening this force to such an extent that they certainly can't be causing anyone any real problems. Something else going on in Syria, and we're going to see it manifest itself very soon. And when it does, and when we're sending actual troops into Syria, people will be like, "Wow, did you hear what happened in Syria? That just came out of the blue." No, it didn't come out of the blue, as I have been doing these videos, and I've been doing videos on Syria for a long time. If you like what I do, subscribe, comment, and please, at least if you have something insulting to say to me, at least be able to write it in English that I can read. So I'm not going to help you insult me, okay? So I speak English, okay? I speak English well. You know, I'd rather speak one language well than speak 5 or 6 languages very, very poorly. So if you have a comment, let's make it an adult one and not just call me names too. So please comment like an adult. Comment like an adult. And subscribe, like my channel. This is Shindo. Have a good Tuesday.